everybody, roll in. Welcome, welcome. So many of you have been before. You guys know the drill. We love to say hi. We're at 41 people now. I'm expecting over 100, which is always so fun. It's so fun to feel the energy, to co-create. I tell people with the webinar format, when you don't actually see everybody, I say, that's okay. We can use our third eye and we can tune into everybody and just share in this beautiful, beautiful experience together. Welcome, welcome. One of the most fun parts about this gathering is at the very end, I have 3 spots open for personal readings. So there are 3 beautiful souls who have opted to get one of those spots so that they can receive personal information. And usually it applies to everybody. Usually it's some really cool information. Something I mentioned yesterday in our workshop is a theme that's coming forward for this month. And because of that, it is rolled into a theme for this channeled Q&A, interestingly enough. And the theme is sovereignty. In our workshop yesterday, we received some information from our guides regarding the concept of making sure that we are tuning into our own personal sovereignty and creating that kind of field of sovereignty around us as we step into any gathering. It's not, I don't like to use the word protection, to be completely honest with you. I feel that's kind of in a sort of a duality mindset. I simply like to use the word sovereignty. And so we are going to take a moment to do that here after I do a few more announcements. But the sovereignty piece is so big. As I'm rolling into the full session here with the Q&A, I do want to make sure you have a few supplies nearby. This is something that came in at the very last minute, so I apologize I didn't send an email out sooner. But I really feel like it's important for everybody to have something to write with. And so whether you're digitally documenting, it's better if it can be a pen and paper. But if you don't have that, just a digital, like a phone, something you can type notes on would be amazing. There is a piece of what we're going to do today where we're shifting from an all-knowing guru answering all our questions format and energy to a co-creation of calling in the answers from the collective, the field of consciousness that there is. And so that is, unity consciousness. That is the everything that exists that we all have access to. And so just grabbing something to write with, you're going to be participating in not only the questions piece, but also the answers piece today in some kind of way. So I just wanted to drop in and mention that. Okay, let's tune into our bodies, as I was mentioning the sovereignty. Let's move into our bodies and really tune in. So just closing your eyes, taking a nice big deep breath. Wow, lots of us skyrocketed right out of the body. So just pull yourself back in and anchor through your root chakra, your earth star chakra, straight into the heart of Gaia. Beautiful. This experience is something that we want to co-create with our bodies. The information that we receive will benefit all of us, all layers, physical and non-physical. Beautiful. Now, traditionally in my gatherings, I do a little practice where I have you tune into a little dial that you can imagine is on the front of your body. And that dial indicates the degree to which you would like to kind of receive, co-create. I sort of equate it to dipping your pinky toe into the water or jumping in with your whole body. So like it goes from 0 to 10. So like a 2 would be your pinky toe or a 1, and a 10 is jumping in with your whole body. And before you pick your number, I just want you to listen to what your body needs from you today. If you've had an intense week, you might be at a 3 or 4. It's okay. I'm usually at a 2, which is kind of interesting, I know, but I'm usually at a 2. But it doesn't diminish at all your experience here. It just makes sure that you honor that body and what it needs at this moment in time. Perfect. So staying in a little bit of a meditative state, you can have your eyes closed. Taking another big, deep breath. And our guides would like us to refine our intention for being here. I know the overall intention is to get answers, right? Receive answers to questions. But let's talk about our own personal intentions for a moment. Most of you have been in, some of you have been in a gathering with me before where our intention is a one-word intention, and that's what I'd like to invite you to bring in today. It might be easier for you to just write something down on your paper, but you can call it in into your claircognizance, your clairvoyance, through your clairaudience. And in addition to that particular intention, I would like us to each call in a specific guide. I know many of you have very large teams, spirit families and guides. I'd like us just to hone in on one particular guide to really be at the forefront today with you. And we're going to call them in and then write our intention and the guide in the chat so that everyone can see how many beautiful beings that we have with us today and to see those intentions. So taking a moment to allow that to drop in. If you don't have a name for your guide, because often it comes as like, it's sort of a green energy, or it feels like this or that. Doesn't have to have a name, okay? There's no name is necessary. You can just describe the guide. It feels feminine. Great, great. It's a goddess energy. It feels wizard energy. It feels like dragon energy. Great, that's all we need. Just a little indicator of who that guide is. Some people have ancestral guides come through. Grandmothers or grandfathers. All right, I'm gonna start reading these. So our intentions and our guides: expansion and a red dragon, happiness and Bruce, beautiful. Knowledge, red dragon. Wow, we've already had 2 red dragons. Softening, Mother Mary. Clarity, guide is a male Pleiadian energy. Amazing. Safe, and Thomas. Sandalphon, beautiful. Ooh, I love that. Trust, Aladora, a white dragon. Healing, my dad. Iset, that must be your guide. Flying white horse emerging from the clouds. Nice. We had a Pegasus come yesterday in our workshop, an image come through. Open is this person's intention, and their guide is Archangel Michael. I love how this person mentioned that they called on Archangel Michael, because sometimes bringing in a guide isn't about them connecting with you first. It's about you saying, hey, who would I want to work with the dragon today, and then calling the dragon in rather than waiting, I wonder what's going to come into my field. It's like, oh, I guess I get to choose. So that's an aspect of this, that we need to remember. Ooh, we have another Pegasus. Woo, we got that Pegasus energy. Anchoring is the intention. Water energy, knowing, and Mother Mary. Shamuel, beautiful. Higher purpose is the intention, Archangel Raphael. Clarity, Archangel Michael. Embodiment, and a green dragon. Expansion and Wohol. Open, I'm open to receive guidance. Beautiful. Clarity and Archangel Michael. Understanding and Metatron. Nice. Great grandmother Antonia. Awesome. Anchoring and Goddess Kali Ma. Clarity and my Merlin dragon. Inspiration, Uriel and Unicorn. Autonomy. Beautiful. I like that one. Openness, Mother Mary. Ishma, my dragon. Love and prosperity. Connection and my Arcturian guide. Fantastic. Wow. So many awesome guides. Ooh, just take a deep breath, kind of feel into the way that this container is starting to grid. So with our bodies in the place they need to be, our energy aligned the way we want it, our guides by our side, we're going to kind of set our broader intention. as we drop in a little bit deeper and start to call in those questions. So while we do this portion, I like to play some music softly in the background, and you can go a little bit deeper this time. Here we go. All right, taking that nice deep breath, coming into a really comfortable position. We're 53 participants strong, which is amazing, gathering from all over the world. I'm feeling drawn to have you begin by humming, just by humming. Just let whatever sound, almost an audible sigh, wants to come out of your mouth. Amazing. Imagining that we're in a beautiful circle and we are all equal, and we are here to reflect each other to each other, calling in our guides and higher selves, softening the heart space to come into heart resonance and heart coherence with this beautiful group. And just imagining that as if we were in a circle and you can see a little white light bouncing around the circle through everybody's heart space, going faster and faster and just bringing everybody into that sense of union. It is safe to gather. It is safe to connect. We set the intention to connect with the highest frequency version of each other, coming into harmony with each other, and set the intention that what we bring through is for our greatest and highest good, and for the greatest and highest good of the collective as well. We set the intention that we will leave this gathering having fulfilled the intentions we set, but also feeling more empowered overall in our lives. That our I am presence will be strongly felt throughout this gathering. And that we will be able to release any and all programming connected to being a victim, so that we can expand more fully into our sovereignty with ease and grace and comfort. We set the intention that as we showers, we will be able to share our light, our love, our wisdom without fear. That we will be able to honor our gifts, our purpose, and our powerful influence on this planet. So be it, and so it is. Staying in this meditative state, and allowing ourselves to now begin to drift into an aspect of ourselves, simultaneously two actually aspects. Both the student and the teacher reside within our multidimensional essence, do they not? For as multidimensional beings, we are able to embody all things. And so throughout this gathering, we will feel ourselves shift very, very easily back and forth. This is something I talked about at my workshop yesterday, my Grid Worker Remembrance workshop. And I was mentioning how we are learning how to be agile in our different sort of emanations, essences. So again, student and teacher. So I want you to call in the student, the questioner. I feel a lot of like 11, 12-year-olds here. I think we're healing some programming that we picked up around that age that made it not safe to ask questions. We just had to believe what was taught to us and not ask. So we kind of got our curiosity sucked out of us. But we're here in a safe space to reignite that so that you can feel comfortable asking. Every time I do this gathering, I remind people that the questions are just as important as the answers, just as important as the answers. Now that you've called in that student aspect, I want you to now feel over your right shoulder an energy that could be considered your teacher self. This particular self feels older, elderly, maybe 60, 70 years old. A little bit, yeah, wiser. So we're calling that person, that version of us, just to hover right here over our right shoulder when we're ready to call them in. They're going to be right there. And of course, we have our guide. We have our guide as well. Perfect. You're doing amazing. Everybody is literally just so like surrendering so deeply, and it's feeling very easy to get to the place that we need to get to. We're going to start calling in questions now. And so this is the part where I'll probably just say it might be more helpful to open your eyes and just start writing. Just open your eyes and start writing any questions that come to mind. Now, some people say they have a hard time coming up with a question, but they'll come up with a topic. And if that's what you want to come up with, that works too. If you can't refine it into a question, but try your best to make it a question so that we can heal that part of us that doesn't feel safe asking questions. No question is stupid. No question is dumb. And it's really important in these gatherings because I obviously am not able to get to every single question, that you soothe any part of you that might feel bad if your question doesn't get picked, right? And know that if it doesn't get picked, that means that's a question for you to explore that you can call the answer in. So just know that. To give you a little bit of clarity on how I do the Q&A, I will typically invite you to come up with questions, and I even invite you to ask me to channel a specific guide if you feel like that would help. So like if you say, can you ask Archangel Metatron about this thing? Then I will typically call in Archangel Michael and I can answer from there. But if you don't have a specific being that you would like to ask, that's okay. So it's an intuitive process all the way through. It's an intuitive process on your end. It's an intuitive process on my end as I'm choosing the questions as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just open that chat up. Now, I need to let you know that if you've already typed in the regular chat, will you please pop into the Q&A and put the question there. All the questions that I'll be choosing from will be in the Q&A section. It's at the bottom of your Zoom screen, and you'll just tune in right there. Amazing. Fantastic. It always makes me excited. I love learning. It sounds weird, but when I'm channeling, it's new to me. Like I'm like, oh, what's coming in? I don't even know what's going to come in. Fantastic. Beautiful. I'm seeing these questions come in. Amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, there's a Q&A chat specifically for questions. I actually like this question. I'm going to start with one that feels like a good warm-up question. And it feels like it probably applies to many of us, okay? It's interesting because in February, I feel like this is going to be a really big topic. So the question is, as I'm doing the light work, my partner gets more upset with me. Is the light we holding irritating the other people who are not ready to receive? Ooh. Let's all hold space for this person to receive the answer and for all of us to receive the answer. The first thing that I feel when this question is put out here is everybody gets like in this state of, like you're feeling it in the pit of your stomach or like in your solar plexus. So just place your hands on your solar plexus for me for a moment. Yeah. Okay. I feel drawn to bring in a little bit of an answer, but also some light language, because the question is rooted in a great deal of programming, cultural programming, societal programming that we have that's not in alignment with, where we want to go. So in order to fully hear the answer that wants to come through, we need to do a little bit of releasing right now. So holding that solar plexus and just setting the intention as I bring through this light language that you can do that releasing. Yatoko yanai, okotoko yanai, yatoko toko yanai, yanai, ta. If you could just repeat that light language. Big deep breath. And then just come back and center. We are being reminded by our collective guides and higher selves that we are all reflections of each other. This does not excuse people for their behavior when it is lower vibrational, but it does give us more compassion. There is a person in this gathering who called in Kuan Yin, and I feel her presence very strongly right now. She's reminding all of us to act from a place of compassion. She is showing me that compassion is not always rainbows and butterflies, whatever that means to you. She is showing me that compassion is sometimes boundaries. Compassion is also sometimes holding your tongue. So it just depends from moment to moment what compassion leads to you to do. And she's inviting us all to tune in more with the frequency of compassion, and she is available and willing to help us if we desire to cultivate more compassion, not only for other people in our lives, but more importantly, for ourselves. And so it is. Taking a deep breath, gratitude to the person who asked the question, and gratitude to Kuan Yin for bringing that through. Thank you, thank you. Usually when I do these gatherings, we take a second to clear the energy before we go into the next one. It helps me too, frequency-wise. So just kind of whoosh, realigning here and get on to the next question. I'm going to scan through. Oh, I need to put done when the question is answered. I love this feature. It's so helpful. Ooh, this one's fascinating. Okay, here we go. This question is for Gaia. She came forward yesterday in our workshop, so I feel very connected to Gaia. Can objects consciously change their frequency, or do they simply hold the frequency they've been programmed with? For example, objects like crystals. Oh, wow. Dear one, physical objects, well, objects that you call quote unquote physical in our world have the ability to both shift frequency in part, but also a masculine consistent energy is held due to the fact that they are existing and structured in a more physical, as you would say, maybe solid way. And so your question almost has two answers. It's like both are right. They can both in part shift anytime they want, but the crystals also have a masculine grid. And so they can bring in new frequencies into that grid. And the grid isn't necessarily to be seen as a limitation. You might want to call it molecular structure. The molecular structure isn't necessarily preventing something from holding a frequency it cannot, because this then goes back to the Akashic records and why they chose that molecular structure in the first place. But I think it would also be in alignment to share with you all that not only is what I just said accurate, but in addition to that, can something change that molecular structure? So if you want to go one level back, technically you can, but that is less common in the dimension in which you reside. I am complete. Thank you. Thank you, Gaia. Ooh, I felt a lot of downloading of like codes. I think there's a little bit that wants to come through in light language now to finish this answer, or to help you integrate what she just said. Opening your third eye for this one. Blue-green energy coming in. Amazing. Big deep breath. Woo. I receive, I accept, I receive, I accept, I receive, I accept. Okay, rubbing those hands together, doing whatever you need to do to get reset for the next question. Awesome. This one's complex, but I'm excited for it. I've heard the starseed concept explained as beings incarcerating on Earth, but that they have a home elsewhere. But this concept doesn't resonate with me, as it is my understanding that most beings incarnating on Earth have had lives in other stars, planets, and galaxies. So technically, most people on Earth are starseeds. Also, people who are more in tune with their intuition or more spiritually awakened also have a tendency to be labeled as starseeds. Ooh, I love this question so much. Okay, so this one's kind of coming from my own channel, but like my higher self, but probably our collective higher selves. I'm going to say a little bit in light language first. It's just like not coming in English. Kada koma daritita go sanalale tatai shosoki nare kata to soto to tatai borokoto sia laita do shosania targira. Oh, dear ones, you complicate things sometimes with containing energies in what you call a word. And so we remind you that a word only holds the frequency which those who believe that word means something think it means. And so as that word journeys through the collective consciousness, it picks up different meanings. The statement that you made is accurate in that each and every being on, the vast majority of beings on this planet have lived lives on other planets, which you could consider to be stars. Some, however, have a greater degree of galactic, what you would say as galactic connections than others. Others have and more angelic connections. Others have more elemental Gaia-centric connections. And so you've heard the word angelic starseed, or more like a Gaia starseed, or a regular starseed, quote unquote, which is, the word says it, connected to the stars. At this moment in time, the word starseed is used as a banner to gather multidimensional souls. And so it is less about the definition of starseed and more about what we want that banner to represent. For we are gathering, no matter if we connect more to Gaia, more to the angelic realms, more to the dragons, more to the galactic realms, to our interdimensional families. That as we embrace the fact that the vast majority of us are star seeds, we are able to unite together to carry out the common purpose of collective and planetary ascension. We are complete. Thank you. Just allowing that one to sort of percolate. I feel it's trickling down your crown and into your body. All right, now we're going to step into a little bit different form. We're going to call in that wisdom aspect of you. That teacher that's over your right shoulder. And I want you to call in an answer to this question, or what is starseed? You could just say, what is a starseed? On your piece of paper, write, what is a starseed with your student self? Then switch gears, pop in that teacher self, and just do some automatic writing. Some of you will not write English words. Some of you will write, well, if you don't speak English, you might write in your native language. Some of you might write symbols. So I'm just going to hold space for you to do that for a moment, okay? Just take a deep breath. Call in an answer. What is a starseed? Or beautiful. Now, as you're getting that, it helps to share, okay? It helps to share. So go ahead and pop in the chat, the regular chat, not the Q&A chat, and let us know what came through for you, okay? Make sure it says to everyone, not just to host and panelists. And we'll just let that come down. Everybody's wisdom, we're collecting everybody's wisdom that's dropping in for them right now. It's going to be a variety of answers. And this is where we're being shown there are multiple quote unquote truths. As multidimensional beings, we are releasing any and all programming around duality. And we are beginning to embrace all perspectives, for they are all aspects of the one source. Are they not? Beautiful. Just looking at the questions while you all do that. Okay, this is a question that I'd like to answer. How does your health affect your ability to channel? I feel Archangel Metatron coming in a crystalline form. And Archangel Metatron is not coming to me as a being. It's coming to me as literally a geometric shape. It has a voice, but it's a telepathic transmitting. Dear one, from a place of sovereignty, you may understand that your health affects your ability to channel to the degree that you believe it does. And when you say the word health, We imagine that you are referring to times where you might feel out of alignment physically and be experiencing physical discomfort due to a variety of things. There are a couple of pieces of information that we would like to provide to you. One is that always, always, always honor the body. Come into co-creation with the body when you channel. Listen to the body when you channel. The body will guide you. And the body will let you know if what you are experiencing is upgrades, and your body might invite you to reframe the sensations that you are feeling and your quote unquote ascension symptoms in a way that might alleviate some of the strain or stress that you are feeling with regards to your health. Each of us is being invited to write down one way, one thing, one tip that will help us come into better resonance, harmony with our physical body as we expand our clairs. It might just be drink more water. It could be really simple. Just pause for a moment and let that answer come in. And thank you for the question, dear one. Beautiful. Keep sharing in the chat if you have specific things coming in, because your wisdom it benefits everybody else. Your wisdom benefits everybody else. I do want to read some of this, what is a starseed, just to share this here, so the recording picks it up. A being that is sent to help with the collective to shift into a higher frequency for Gaia. An old soul with many galactic and extraterrestrial incarnations, no better than others. Someone else said that they channeled the answer in light language. A starseed, an old soul with master frequencies, which when incarnated on Earth, is here to contribute to the collective awakening and ascension. Beautiful. Starseeds are beings that have a certain frequency needed to shift the energies on this planet. Yes, love it. So many good insights there. Here's some tips people, or some tips people are channeling for their own body. Detox, soothe the nervous system, relax, nature, space, move your body to embody your feelings each day. Music, shift awareness to your heart center. Sleep, move your body more often and more freely. Surrender, feel and allow whatever arises. Taking deep breaths and hydrating. Release your emotional baggage for a better connection. Beautiful. Lots of great stuff there. Awesome. Thank you. Honoring the answers that everybody's bringing through. Okay. Garakaniya said that. There are many people in this group who cannot see or feel any guides. What things can we do to be able to see or feel our guide and get their knowledge? Everybody take a deep breath as we allow this to drop in. Whether you can see some things clearly, can't see other things, I'm feeling the answer lies in the definition and the programming in the word see and feel. How often do you actually feel your heartbeat? Like, are you going around your day and going, oh, I feel that? But it's there, right? I mean, feeling your blood pumping, feeling your nervous system like do its regular jobs. Like, we're not, it's there, but it's a different way of seeing and feeling than our programming is telling us. So what I'm hearing is bring in your inner child. The key is your inner child. Your inner child knows how to connect with your guides. Let them lead the way. And so it is. Thank you. Amazing. Okay, I have time, I think, for one more question. Again, if I was not able to get to your question, I'm holding space for you to receive that answer yourself. So please write it down on your piece of paper if you only typed it in the chat so that you can remember what your question was. And you can, some of you might not see it, I just realized, but try to write down the gist of it, right? Because it's important for you to be able to call in that information through as well. This one's interesting. I'm feeling an interesting energy coming in from this one. Okay, here's the question. It seems there are common themes and guidance coming through various people acting as channels. What is the source of these topics, like sovereignty, for instance? And have we, as channels, light workers, learners, etc., attempted to see what it looks like further down the line as these guidances are adopted in the world by larger groups of people? Wow. Just bringing through light language. I feel the Syrian dolphin star mothers. They're actually laughing. They're like, somebody asked how to tap into your inner child. Well, if you guys all start making the same clicking noises that I am, you're going to bring in that inner child because we're all going to be clicking our tongue in a really silly way. And there's information being downloaded about this. The source of these topics, dear ones, is unity consciousness, is the frequency of unity consciousness, which is very closely connected to the original blueprint of all creation. You must understand that the journey that you've been on as a collective is not to be judged. It is the path that was chosen collectively, as you might see it as journey to shadow and back. And you are on the return journey, the return part of the journey. And this frequency will radiate, and it will be like a snowball sort of effect where more and more and more will begin to latch on to the original codes of creation of unity consciousness and the original frequency of source unity consciousness. What it looks like down, quote unquote, down the road indicates the existence of linear time. And what we are invite and linear space. We see it less as a linear journey and more as a mandala expanding and contracting, expanding and contracting. We know that this information that we have provided might feel like it isn't quite clear, but we wish for you to digest it for a little bit longer, and your own personal intuition will deliver you the specific information that you need at this time. We are complete. Thank you. This is JJ. Beautiful. That felt like a group of ascended masters, maybe a council of wisdom. Okay, everybody take a deep breath. Tap on your heart space. We're about to drop into our beautiful readings today. And again, holding space for these amazing people who are going to be receiving. Just tuning in because I asked them all for a little blurb just to see what wanted to come through for them. So I am going to go ahead and just have them stay in the audience for now, but co-create in the chat. And I will start with Shannon. So thank you, Shannon, for being willing to receive today. Feel free to say hi in the chat. I'm here. I already saw you were in the chat, but I'm just checking the things that have been on your heart and mind. So everybody just send Shannon lots of love as she receives this message. I'd like to call in, you know what, Shannon, remind me what guide you had coming for you today. Actually, I want to call them in, and I feel a couple other guides too, but just tell me which one you specifically called in. Archangel Michael, okay. Archangel Michael. So I'm specifically tuning into Archangel Michael. I actually also feel Mother Mary. Mother Mary and Goddess Sekhmet. Sort of a variety there. It appears that timelines are merging and collapsing and the information is getting a bit jumbled. I believe that's why I want to get some clarity around what my next steps need to be to step more fully into purpose as a full-time gig. Okay, I hear what you're saying. Sekhmet would like to step forward. Dear one, you express the desire to step more fully into purpose. Do you not understand that your purpose is being? Your purpose is being. Your purpose is not doing. You do not do your purpose. You be your purpose. And so you are invited to release any and all programming, frustration, judgment that you are not in this present moment being your purpose. For dear one, it is preventing you from living in the present moment and causing you to live outside your body and in a place other than the present moment. So step number one, which I would recommend for you, is to focus on being present. This is the piece of wisdom I would like to contribute to your message. I am Sekhmet and I am complete. Gratitude for Sekhmet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mother Mary would now like to step forward. Ooh, this is a deep one. This is a deep energy wanting to come through. It's related to the question you asked in the email you sent me, Shannon, about the divine feminine return and the dragon timeline. I can't really articulate it without light language, so I'm just going to bring it through and you'll have the playback to listen to sort of sort this out, but just receive through your heart space. I'm seeing your heart. Ooh. Ooh. Beautiful. And so it is. Thank you, Mother Mary. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ooh. Song lines. Song lines is something coming in for you, Shannon. Remembering the song lines and the chants. I feel like there's a third message from Archangel Michael now because we've got the two that took the turn and now By the way, the question you had about vocal channeling, I think it's connected to song. And I think that it's going to start with like humming, like to free the throat, you've got to start like humming, like just da da da, just be silly. You know how kids just make up songs? This is the inner child piece. Don't tell yourself you're channeling light language. I'm making up a silly song. Just be crazy. Crazy. That's the best way to do it. This really helps that I was taught preschool because I can literally go back to that moment where I was like trying to be silly, right? You're channeling. Like it's channeling, Shannon. It's channeling. Okay. Archangel Michael, what are we doing? What are we doing? This is about sovereignty. This isn't about like a couple of your questions were expressed in a less sovereign place, from a less sovereign place than they could have been. Wow. Okay, I thought this was what it was, but I couldn't see. I keep seeing Archangel Michael giving you a breastplate. I know that not living in duality where we're like, oh, we got to be these warriors. We're releasing warrior templates. We are stepping into an age of peace where it's sovereignty rather than like warrior. I don't know how to say that in a better way. But the programming behind the word warrior, you know, all that. But Shannon, what I see is Archangel Michael telling me that he would like to gift you a breastplate of sovereignty. So if you would like to receive, he will place it on your chest and it's like being latched on. Garakiat kosho siara kam hai tatai soko koki darakniaya ya soko totira kna haya ayakoto koya. And even though he gifted you that breastplate, the light language I just brought through was from our earth grandmothers. Giada toko shosoyera knara ya tototoi shutaka arya. And they're asking you to simply say the words, I accept, I receive. And so it is. And everyone in the group is being invited to support Shannon by typing into the chat. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you, Shannon. Woo! Woo! I gotta get some water. Hang on. Oh man, this is so much fun. I'm now roasting hot too. Whoa, those earth grandmothers. Earth grandmothers. Okay. Crystal, I'm going to have you go next. Remind me who you called in for your guides, if you don't mind, and in the chat, and anything, and you can send it to me personally. You can type it in everybody. Anything that, any theme that is on your heart or mind. And if not, if you're just open, then just say, I'm open to whatever. Okay. Your Merlin dragon, half a dozen or so sitting next to me in cards. Nice. I'm open to what wants to come through. Okay, it's dragon light language. I've never done this before, but I need you to put your hand, I mean your forehead very close to the screen of the computer or phone, however you're listening. You are safe. You are safe. It is safe to stand in your power. You are safe. You are safe. It is safe to call in your dragon brothers and sisters. They await your instructions. And so it is. Shake your body out just a little. Just let yourself, I accept, I receive, I accept, I receive, I accept, I receive. I accept, I receive, I am in the now moment, I am in the now moment, it is safe to be in the now moment, and I accept and receive in the now moment. I accept and receive in the now moment. In the now moment. Oh man, ooh, so much fire, so much fire. Okay. Your guides, hang on, there's some galactic guides coming through to provide you with additional codes, additional encodement. Wow, this is so close to what happened when we had our in-person experience, Crystal. So it's all really, really advanced encoding. And it's coming like lines of code across your body from head to toe. So I'm just gonna, okay, I'm gonna pause. Please, friends, turn your dial down or to like a 0. Because this might not benefit you, because if it's just for Crystal, it needs to be for her. If this is your, your people, you might recognize these, but this might just be for her. So you're an observer right now, okay? I need to remind you that. I'm at your feet. Going up and down the chakras now. Reconnecting your body to Gaia. It is safe to be connected to Gaia. Releasing any and all trauma that would prevent you from feeling safe connecting to Gaia, safe connecting to the physical world. It is safe to be in your body. Your body is your partner. Your body is your friend. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Take a deep breath, tapping on the heart chakra. Oh, shake it out. Shake it out, 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 shake it out. Interestingly enough, Crystal, that information is connected to what we just did, this reestablishing the channel. This channel that we just reestablished. I'm wondering tips to connect and distribute the information more freely. Feels dense and trapped. Yes, conduit. Conduit, not container. Conduit, not container. Conduit. Conduit. There's a bunch of people in this gathering that need to remember conduit, not container. So right now, even as we sort of reset for the final reading that I'm about to do, I want you to just take a deep breath in and receive what you need, but release what you don't on your exhale. So there's a lot of stuff that maybe came through that you're like, okay, that wasn't, for me in particular. So, and you may not consciously know what it was, but if you just set this intention right now and just say, okay, I release everything that is not going to serve me for my greatest and highest good, and that was intended for someone else. And I only receive what will benefit me personally for my greatest and highest good. Yeah. There you go. This is why sovereignty is so important. Sovereignty is so important. You get to determine what you're receiving right now. This isn't like a haphazard, just whatever happens, throw in everything everywhere and chaos. That's not what this is. Okay. All right. All right. I'm ready for the next person. I'm excited to have her come forward in the chat. She's welcome to say hi if she would like. Amazing. Orla. She's asking for guidance on her soul's calling and being able to remember her gifts so she can serve in this lifetime. Kuan Yin, beautiful. Fantastic. Okay, my friend, go ahead and place one hand on your heart, the other hand on your belly, calling in the frequencies of Kuan Yin, calling in the frequencies of Venusian star beings into our field, the Hathors, And opening our clairaudience to beautiful tones of music that are coming through from the Hathors. Frequency, dear one, is what will shift you into your next highest timeline, as you would say. However, remember, in order to fully evolve as a soul into the next phase and the next season of awareness, of wisdom, of expansion, you are being invited to honor each phase, even the one in which you are. For we feel and sense within your emotional body a great deal of dissatisfaction. And you must understand that no matter your circumstances, if that dissatisfaction is within you, it will be carried to the next place, to the next person, to the next thing. What we are inviting you to do is to spend the next 2 weeks allowing yourself to feel fully satisfied in the present moment before you decide and determine your next quote unquote step or action. For if you take a step without fully embracing the present moment, again, that will be carried with you. We do not judge your emotions. We do not condemn any emotion. We witness the emotion. We witness the dissatisfaction. We witness the frustration. And do you notice how we do so from a neutral frequency, a non-judgmental frequency? You are, dear one, at this moment in time, subconsciously processing a great deal of emotion that was repressed during your ages from 14 to 16. And so what you are in essence feeling and picking up on with this dissatisfaction is your 14 through 16-year-old self. So take a deep breath. And what did your 14 to 16-year-old self lack? That was the root of these emotions that are now coming forward at this later point in your life. Self-love and self-compassion. And so you are being invited as you sit in the now moment, as you sit in the present moment for the next 2 weeks in an energy of satisfaction, to imagine yourself through journaling, through meditation, connecting with your 14-year-old self, connecting with your 15-year-old self, connecting with your 16-year-old self, to teach them how to have self-love and self-compassion, because no one ever showed them how, no one ever modeled it for them. And you, the you that is in the now moment, has those tools, has that knowledge, and has the ability to turn to them and give them what they need. Kinaya soto yashlalek mura kinaya. Izototoi satria sotototoi. You have everything you need. You are everything you need. Shokototi rekitrai. Everything you need is inside you. Yeshototototi ta 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 ta. And this is what you tell them. For not only will they foster self-love and self-compassion, that they will foster a sense of self-empowerment. Yes, dear one. Yes, dear one, this is the way. This is the way, and this is what you seek. We are complete, and so it is. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is, yes, and so it is. Please feel free to support our beautiful friend in receiving that. I definitely feel Teresa and Carla helping everybody's inner teenager right now. Does everybody feel a little tender when it comes to the inner teenager as we were speaking to hers? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Taking a deep breath, receiving what you need, releasing what you do not. And of course, taking again a moment of just gratitude and love to those three beautiful souls who came forward and gave us the honor of witnessing their guides delivering those messages. And my intention was that I was simply reflecting back to them the wisdom that they have through a frequency that they see as a guide. But we are, in essence, all one, are we not? We are all one, and we all have access to that wisdom. Everybody has access to it in a different way. Not everybody's going to look like JJ doing that, how I do it. You may be doing artwork and things come in. You may be taking a shower, things just come in. Everybody's going to be bringing through, accessing wisdom and answers in a way that's unique to them. So I want you to take a moment as we close out today. And I want you to take a deep breath and release any and all programming of comparison and judgment that's ready to be released, specifically when it comes to co-creating and collaborating in sort of a spiritual community. Because there's sometimes wounding in that, and there's obviously, like I said, comparison in that. And so allowing yourself to honor your gifts, your channel. I don't care if you don't think you are a channel, you are channeling every darn day. You are bringing information and energy in, and you are transmitting information and light and things in a way you may not even comprehend. We are all conduits, and our intention is what's most important. I intend to be a conduit of source energy, of pure love and wisdom. What do you intend? What do you intend, my friends? Beautiful. Well, bringing this gathering to a close. This is the first time that I will be offering this to the world and uploading this to my YouTube channel. And I am so grateful for all of you for holding space to allow me to bring through what came through, because without you here, I felt not only those who were here live, but those who will be listening to this in the future. And I appreciate Teresa and Carla and their support of those who will receive this in the now moment and in what we consider the future, because it is effective. There's no such thing as time. So it radiates out there. Again, just my heart is full. I want to remind you to go do something fun for your inner child right now. Don't forget that. Don't get all serious now. This is time to play. So go do something fun for your inner child, connect with your body, and I will be here again next month, kind of basically the same time, and you can find out more information on my website. It's been an honor, my friends. Sending you so much love, and I hope to see you again very, very soon.